Hello, today we are going to talk about how to install Kubuntu 22.04 in a virtual machine and then build KDE software using kdesrc-build. So for that, first we need a Kubuntu ISO, a Kubuntu CD and USB image to install a virtual machine. So Kubuntu from Wikipedia is a official flavor of the Ubuntu Linux distribution. Okay, so it's Ubuntu but with KDE software used as a desktop environment, so Plasma desktop environment, instead of what is default on the most official flavor of Ubuntu, which is GNOME. Okay, KDE Plasma desktop by the KDE community. Okay, so Kubuntu download. Let's see what's the official web page, kubuntu.org. What can we do? Download. So 22.04 this time. We're going for 22.04. It's a 64-bit download. The default download is okay for me because I'm on a AMD Ryzen CPU. So my machine is x86-64, AMD 64. Okay, save. Okay, while it's saving, let me clean up the directory with ISOs. Okay. (11 megabytes per second). Okay, so while we're waiting, let's read some more on Kubuntu. So Kubuntu is a registered trademark by Canonical. Ubuntu, but with a K in front, from the KDE community. But it's also a valid word toward humanity. Without payment in Kirundi. Okay, so we're going to use Xorg, not Wayland. The default software that's installed in there. We're going to install many dev packages in order to be able to build from source the KDE packages. Okay, so these are the big differences between Kubuntu and Ubuntu. So the Qt toolkit is installed by default. Parts of GTK is also. Plasma desktop instead of GNOME. And the window manager and Wayland Composer, or what is that? The equivalent of a window manager in Wayland is not matter, but KWin. Okay, I've downloaded. So the first release of Kubuntu was in 2005 April. The current release is 2204 from this year, April, and work in progress is the next version, which is 22.10, which is not in beta yet, but still it's very stable for me. For me, 22.10 is stable. Okay. And the KD tends to be very close to the upstream defaults. Okay, let's start preparing the virtual machine. So we're using, this is my hardware machine. It's AMD 64, a Ryzen CPU, and I have AMD's virtualization technologies enabled, AMD -V. I am using Virt Manager, KVM, and QEMU. So let's start that. So go File, New Virtual Machine, from ISO, and we're waiting for the ISO to complete downloading. Okay, so it has finished downloading. The file is named Kubuntu 2204.1, so kind of like a service pack 1. Desktop AMD64.iso. Let's choose this thing. And it tries to find what type of operating system is installed. I'm not sure why it fails to see that it's a recent-ish Ubuntu, not Kubuntu, then Ubuntu. So we'll have to select something manually. Ubuntu, this guy. Forward. Let's give it the maximum possible resources, so 15 cores, 10 gigabytes of RAM. Forward, at least 200 gigabytes. Forward, that's 2004. Okay, default network, which is not. NAT network address translation, customized before. Yes, installation. Finish. The newest chipset, Q35. Never UFI for me, BIOS is better. CPUs. I don't want NUMA, so one socket and 15 cores. Okay, Virt.io is supported in the latest Kubuntu. SATA for CD-ROM. Network interface card Virt.io. Yes, tablet. So the defaults are okay because I have selected Ubuntu 2204 as being an operating system that's similar to what I'm installing right now, which is Kubuntu 2204. Okay, begin installation. Okay, so try or install means a live CD. We can go with that. Okay, so it starts in live CD mode. It starts the KD Plasma desktop, automatically starts the application Ubiquiti with KD, so the default Ubuntu installer with the KD version. Or not. Okay, just this is in fact Ubiquiti. English US will keep the defaults as they are, as much as possible, not normal but minimal. Install third party for graphics Wi-Fi. Since I'm in a virtual machine that's very well supported by Ubuntu, so it's the default virtual machine software in an Ubuntu host and the default for Ubuntu guests. So it's really well supported, no need for any third-party things. Entire disk, correct. My last chance to back out. So I go continue. Okay, so time zone, we keep defaults. Username. Short password. This thing is 4. Too many zeros. Seems to be okay. And now we wait, there's no more data entry to do. VirtualBox virtualization software. Awesome applications. What is kubuntu.org/support? Links don't work because we're not in live CD mode, we're in installer mode. So there's just one window visible, which is the Ubiquiti. So it should, I don't know, display tooltips when you hover over the links, but not, you know, make it somewhat to not seem as a bug, because this way it just seems like an not well thought out thing. You click on links and nothing happens. Or just disable all of the links when running in non-live CD mode. Okay, configuring hardware. Installing the bootloader. Update group to create the bootloader entries. removing packages because either the packages part are installer only packages, or because the package is something like LibreOffice, which should not be installed when I select a minimal desktop. So I selected not the normal desktop, but a minimal desktop. So it's removing all of the debs, the packages that are part of the normal desktop, but are not part of the minimal desktop. Removing ubiquity. Okay, so we're going to have a virtual machine. The virtual machine is quite powerful. 10 CPU of a really good, 10 CPU cores, really good CPU, 10 gigabytes of RAM, and 200 gigabytes of NVMe PCIe 3. Everything is with virt and really fast, including the networking. And we'll connect with to this virtual machine, not using virt manager, not using QEMU, not using any virtualization software, but using either SSH for text user interfaces and text connection, text mode connection, and for GUI we're going to use RDP, which is a protocol from Microsoft. We'll use the remote desktop client X3RDP and the remote desktop server XRDP. This way we can copy files from the host to the guest. We can copy text from the guest to the host. We have enough colors in the virtual machine and bit color depth, etc. Restart now. The CD-ROM will disappear. Fail to unmount /CD-ROM. I'm not going to wait for it. It seems to be in a clean state, so I'm just going to reboot it. That doesn't work. Force reset then. Okay, so no CD-ROM anymore. Says that guest is not running. I went with force reset, not with force shutdown. Okay. Interesting. We're in GUI mode. This is the SDDM, the desktop manager. Okay, which is the lock screen where I enter my password. Okay, so let's see what needs to be configured such that we can connect without using virt manager to this machine. First of all, what's the IP address? This thing. SSH, username. So no SSH server, let's fix that. Apt install SSH. So it installs OpenSSH server. Okay, SSH is probably a meta package. It has created a systemd service. Okay, that created a pair of private and public keys for the user root. Okay, let's try to connect again. First time we connect to the machine, we like the public key. Okay, we're in. So what needs to be done? A minimal terraforming for the command line. So we have the GCC CC++ toolset, GNU make, Emacs as a text user interface TUI mode text editor. Okay, what else? We need to connect using Xorg XRDP. This thing. Okay, so that's Xorg XRDP. Xorg XRDP is the backend for XRDP. Okay. I don't remember if we still need to do this thing. Allowed users console. Let's see. Ctrl-Shift-T. So I'm using as a RDP client. FreeRDP nightly, which lives in opt. And there's two possibilities. XFreeRDP, which is if you're running under X11 the server, or WFreeRDP if you're running under Wayland. So we're under X. Okay. So we're taking a sample from here. /v is the machine. Paste. /u is the username. Okay. And from there on, there's just goodies. So we want video, this thing. We want sound. Sound. Sys, this thing. Sys and pulse. What else? Clipboard is enabled by default. Height and width. We want these things, yes. So height and width. RFX. And speed, which is network, this thing. Okay, so RFX and then network. LAN. Okay. 1080p. So it's width 1920, height 1080, and let's connect. Requests my password. Something starts, I don't know what. I need to disconnect. Log out. So the logout screen is shown on the wrong X. Server connection. Okay. We can close now the Vert Manager windows. Why is this thing running? Okay, so just this machine is running Kubuntu 2004. Connect again using RDP. Okay. Let's see if it works. It works. Now the window is too large. The window of the client is too large, so we need to make the height smaller such that title bar has room, and then we need room for the KD panel from my host. So I disconnect and shrink a bit the dimensions. So that thing was like this, and this thing was like that. So 1040 by 1880. Since we're on RDP, we can select any display size that we want for the connection. Okay. So this concludes the first part of the video where we install the Kubuntu 2204 virtual machine, and we do enough terraforming such that we can connect using RDP and SSH, not using Vert or other virtualization software. Okay, so let's continue terraforming. No unnecessary things pinned for me. Okay. Not even here, right? Okay, this can remain here. Now the second part of the video is about how we enable kdesrc-build on this machine. So for that we need a web browser. Will work only in the virtual machine, and will use half of the screen. So the left half of the screen will be work, and the right hand half of the screen will be documentation. So value customize. I don't want this space be taken for no reason, and no bookmarks for me. Minimum settings, downloads, always ask, tabs, always start with a blank page. Okay, so this should be it for me. So let's start working. The first thing we need to know what kdesrc is. So for that we go to the Wikipedia KD page. Okay. So that says that the official KD website is kd.org. Let's go there. Then in here we have the get involved. In the main menu of the kd.org webpage, we have the getting involved item. So it says get involved by doing development. And this is the page where it says how we should set up our development machine and how we're going to set up the software that builds the KD software, which is called kdesrc-build. Okay, so we're on KD, Neon, Kubuntu, Ubuntu, Debian. Let's do this. I'm not sure what dialog is for. So dialog is already installed because it's part of the... no, it's not installed. Okay, so let's configure Git. Next, my email. Okay, Control L to clean the screen. So we're setting up kdesrc build. We need to run these 3 command lines as a non-super user. Okay. Then we're going to run so I'm in this directory in tilde/kd/src, which is the directory where we git clone the git repos, and then we git clone kdesrc-build. In here we also have this script, which is a Perl script. this thing. Okay, which is X executable. Okay. Initial setup. Middle click to paste. So it installs a long list of packages. So what it should do is install the dev packages, so for development, of the libraries that are not Qt and not KD, such as the libraries for the Xorg server, for OpenSSL, I don't know, for GPG, NSS, etc. The various image formats. Okay, so it says it has created a file kdesrc-config kdesrc-build.rc for is the configuration file for kdesrc-build, and then it wants to update my bashrc such that kdesrc-build, so this script, is available in the path environment variable. So I'm going with I don't know. Let's go with yes. Okay, let's see what it did in my bashrc. So from this comment kdesrc-build, this is where the modifications start. It prepended to my path the directory where the module kds git repository kdesrc-build was git cloned, and then it has an auto-completion function which I have never seen working. I'm not sure it works. For yeah, auto-completion for kdesrc minus run, which I have never run. I never found a need for this thing, kdesrc minus run. Maybe I'll use it in the near future. Okay. And now I'll need to source the bashrc or open a new tab in here. Let's close the old one by middle clicking. Middle click does not work. So console settings, tab bar splitters, behavior, miscellaneous, close, tab on middle click. Okay. And now I should have kdesrc in my path, which I do. Let's look at the echo environment variable, the path environment variable. So it starts with the directory where the git repository kdesrc-build was cloned, and then the usual path. Okay. What did I do? I pressed Ctrl D. So kdesrc build, and I'm going to build what? The minimum minimorum thing, which are the frameworks. No, let's stop this thing because we didn't configure well enough the okay, we have Kate installed. Configuration file for kdesrc-build. Okay, so we keep all of the defaults, we change just two things. So no rel with debinfo but debug. And more cores. And the last one, stop on failure, let's make it false. And not directory layout flat, but directory layout invent. Control S. And now we can start building. Let's clean up a bit. We don't have a Crusader yet. Let's install that. Okay. What else do we need to install? Yeah, melt. Melt works too. Let's see. Okay. The difference here that I can use that and Visual Studio Code. Melt and Visual Studio Code. Okay, Control D. So let's start Crusader. First run Wizard. It doesn't support melt, which is not okay. Okay, so how can we make the UI be as packed and as concentrated as possible? Compact. Let's see if it's enough. Not compact enough for me, huge menus and everything. So no main toolbar, no job toolbar, no actions toolbar, no status bar, no function keys, embedded terminal, send to embedded terminal emulator, and show command line. Or we could go without any command line. It's okay. What else can we do? The icons are huge. Let's hope it remembers the zoom level. Okay, so kdesrc-build uses the directory ~kd, this thing. In there are three directories: src for the git clones, build for cmake builds, and /usr as an equivalent of /usr/looker. So the directory where make install puts these things. This is a Git repo which contains metadata about the order in which Git repositories need to be built. So it says that this KD Git repository depends on that KD Git repository. This is kdesrc-build, and this contains the log files. Okay, Ctrl Z, BG to background Crusader. And now let's run again kdesrc-build frameworks. Okay, so it git clones extra CMake modules, which is the very first module that gets built. Most of the Git repos from KD use CMake, and most use these extensions to CMake, which is extra CMake modules, including kick or add-ons. Okay, let's see more details of building. Okay, so we have successfully installed and configured kdesrc-build. We have managed to install 7 or something of the 70 KD frameworks version 5. We didn't have any build error yet, any Git repo that did not build yet. Okay, 15 CPU cores, all of them are used. So 1500% CPU usage, and I have 15 cores. On the hardware machine I have 16 cores, but I kept one just for the hardware virtual machine, for the hardware machine. And I allocated to the virtual machine -1, which is 15 cores. Okay, so the RAM usage, if this graph is correct, then it's nowhere near 10 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, so it failed to build K-unit conversion, but I have configured kdesrc-build to continue if build errors occur. So it's going to do its thing. I have instructed kdesrc-build to build all of the KD frameworks version 5, so 70 modules, 70 Git repos. At the end, it will present me with a summary where it says I could build 60 modules, could not build 10, and with hyperlinks to the log file that contains the errors for each of the modules that it could not build. And those links are to the log directory, to here. Okay. Invent layout means that the layout that's used on invent.kd.org, which is the GitLab instance of KDE with GitLab groups. So the top level directory in here under SRC will be the GitLab group, so frameworks for the KDE frameworks and libraries for other things. I find it that using the layout event is better for me because it keeps Git repos more organized. I would rather have subdirectories than 400 directories straight into the src directory. Okay. I don't know yet which modules failed to build. Let's close for now and make it be less verbose such that I can see the build errors. Okay, so K18N. Internationalization, this thing. It was a CMake error. Go at the end. So it says, could not find the package configuration file provided by Qt5QML. Qt5QML, what is that? Okay, let's stop this thing. Isn't there any dev package for this? libqt 5. So let's install all of these. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it wants to install libqt 5 xdg, charts, sensors, serial ports, pass, web view, network, AUTH, UQI, Wayland client, xdj icon loader, WebKit 5, OpenGL 5, Scintilla, OpenGL. And then that takes libudev, dev, and libwacom, and a ton of X. Yeah, so it seems valuable for me to do this thing, to install all of the dev package, dev packages for Qt 5. Okay, let's try again. So what was the first? That could not be K internationalization, this thing, the third Git repository, the third module from the moduleset frameworks. Okay, could build correctly now. Okay, kwidgets add-ons. Let's stop for a bit. Kwidgets add-ons. Latest. CMake error. Okay, the following required packages have not been found. Qt 5 UI plugin. Okay, so it says we can't install libqt 5 GUI because it conflicts with libqt 5 GUI minus gles. So I need to uninstall all of the gles packages. Where are you? This thing. And this thing. And this thing. Okay. I've called an apt update and apt upgrade. Okay, apt remove this thing. Is not installed, so not removed. Okay. Already newest. What can we still install? No. Widgets add-ons. Widgets add-ons. Latest widgets add-ons. What's the error? I don't know what this thing is, so let's search for it. Where are you? Ubuntu packages, search this thing. Cute style plugins. Jammy. This thing is probably already installed. Not really. Okay. So it failed again. Interesting. So we installed the dev packages with libqt5 at the start, but we did not install the ones with qt at the start and then dev. Qt5 everything dev. Let's do that. And then without any prefix, qterm widget is not from Qt. Qt6 things, I don't want Qt6 things. No. Qt5 dev. Qt base 5. Like this. Okay, and Qt default, what does it do? What's the source package? How do I install all of the packages that were built from this src deb? Let's see what Porkit Qt doesn't like. Required package was not found. Polkit GObject1. We need the dev thing. Okay, what else? KGUI add-ons. Okay, so it says could not find Wayland client. Deep Wayland client. Okay, so we need something with a dev at the end. Client library. This is Rust. No C++ bindings probably. This thing. Yes, this is the only thing. Already installed. The source package Wayland and no dev package. This thing. Yes, this is probably it. Okay, let's look at Polkit. Polkit agent not found. Search Polkit agent. We need the dev one. Okay, else? Okay, crash. So okay, crash depends on K Windows system. Okay, KI item views. Depends on Qt 5 UI plugin. CMake error. Okay. Let me dig and see what the problem is. Okay, so I have searched for the name of the file that was missing. So it says that Qt 5 UI plugin CMake file is missing. So sometimes the name is the exactly what's missing .cmake. So I searched for Qt 5 UI plugin .cmake and it took me to pkgs.org. I went there and it says that the name of some RPM archives for some distributions is Qt 5 Qt tools -devel. So these are just Red Hat, Linux and Fedora aligned distributions. So I searched for all packages that contain Qt and 5. And this is the list that I got. And if it's installed, it's in square brackets says installed, otherwise not. So I need most of the things which contain Qt and 5 and dev to be installed. So for instance, I don't have Qt Web Engine 5 private dev installed, and I'll need to install it at some point. So I've selected Qt Tools, the same thing that this thing says, so Qt Tools. And it's Qt Tools 5. And I went with the dev package. So there's two -dev Debian files, dev files. So I went with this one because from what I guess, -private -dev packages tend to depend on -dev packages. So by installing this, I'm also going to install this one. And probably, maybe, I'm not sure where. Should have been in one of the -dev packages because there's where CMake files with extension .cmake reside. Okay, so we started building. Okay, Windows system fails. KD. What is this? Log latest KD. What is that? Windows system. Okay, Windows system. CMake error. And it says it cannot find X development deb files. So how can you find those? Upsearch X grep dev. It's X server. No. X11. Leap, something with leap. libx something. So lib x render -dev, libx res -dev, libx Russian fence. libx ft, libx font, libx fixes. I'm not sure how I'm going to find the list. So libx grepdev. And there's a lot of libraries that are not part of the X server, such as the libraries for the XFC desktop. and XMMS too. Oh, there was a meta package of them. Oh, a ton of libxcb things. At least these ones I should install. Where are you? Okay. libxcb dot like this. So libxcb something and then dev. Only globs. No. What about this? The following new packages will be installed. libxcb. Many libxcb things. Okay, let's go. And what's required in here by Qt is only XCB libraries. They don't require non-XCB libraries. Hopefully, we'll find out pretty soon. Okay, failed. How do we refresh the file? X fixes. So it does require non-XCB X libraries. Let's configure KDE to not lock so often. Lock screen automatically after 25 minutes. Apply. Did I install Xfixes? Okay. Okay, K-wallet. Let's, for a while, make it such that when kdesrc-build fails to build a module, it stops there. So that's stop on failure true. Okay, so K-wallet. CMake. So I probably need GPG MEPP dev. And this thing. Looks good. And then QCA. libqca cute -2 dev. Great name. Okay. Where are you? No K-wallet. Okay, so gcrypt. This guy, I'm guessing. And then we'll need also GPG error. Okay. Next. K-wallet. So K-wallet, the first step, which is CMake failed. Configuring done. So the configure, the first step seems to be okay. Don't see any errors in here, but then I saw the make phase run, which is the build. which seem to have failed. Something with GPGME. So libgpgme dev is not installed, although libgpgme pp is installed, which is strange. Okay, so libgpg error is installed. libgpg mepp is installed. Now we're installing libgpg -dev. Okay. Looks okay. No rule to make target libgpgme.so. Okay. So this is a bug because kwallet should search the cmake file or the package config file for libgpgme, which probably it does not. Let's see if we can fix this problem. Okay, so src frameworks, kwallet, how many cmake files? F2, Control C, Control S, Control V, go. A ton. Okay, where does it say GPG? Not in here. Kwallet backend runtime. So it says find package gpgmepp, but does not say find package gpgme, which is a bug. Okay. Where are we? So now Kirigami failed. Kirigami CMake failed. Okay. So we need Qt quick controls to the CMake files of dev packages. So that's okay, this thing, search, and search doesn't expect globs but regular expressions. So something like Qt five. Okay. So for Qt quick controls, there's two possibilities. There's dev and there's private dev. Let's go with the private dev first. What else could we install in here? Qt declarative private doc, private dev. Qt Wayland private dev. And Qt Web Engine private dev. Okay. Let's see what the command line is for resume from. Control Shift T, kdesrc-build, help, resume from. Kirigami. And we're building frameworks. Okay, so there's two tools that we use for searching dev packages. There's apt install and then a glob, and then there's apt search and then a regular expression. So apt install, apt remove, apt purge, expect a glob, and apt search expects a regular expression. So glob, the glob syntax is the syntax of ls, the lister from the command line. So this means any character, any time. This means any character once. That's it. That's the two possibilities, whereas regular expression is this is any character, any time, any number of times. This is one character, or any character at least once. And then this is any character once. These are enough for what we need. So this is apt install expects a regular expression and apt install expects a glob. Okay, where what's a glob? Wikipedia says that the glob is asterisk.txt, that's a glob, or question mark.txt. So that's the two things that we can have. Either any character once or any character any number of times. Okay, whereas regular expressions are more complicated. Must read Wikipedia page, regular expressions. You should read and understand as much as possible on this page. Okay, so now kidle time failed, and it gives me a hyperlink, which I can follow by pressing the Control key on the keyboard and click. So Control click. I go at the end of the file, and it says x11xcb, xsync, xext, xscreensaver, xss, xsync, xcbsync found. Okay, let's search for these. So what are we going to search for? Xsync, xext, this thing. What else? XCB. So an XCB minus dev package that's not installed. This guy. Is there a libx11? Just two. So the X11 libraries should have easier to grep for names. So the packages for X libraries should all start with libx11, for instance. So we're fortunate that all XCB libraries start with libxcb, but then not all X11 libraries start with libx11. Okay. So xext installed. XSS. Okay. What else? Xsync. Okay, we can start from k idle time. Control Shift W. Okay. So we resume from k idle time. Let's have a Crusader pinned to the panel. Not like this. Certainly not like this. Add to panel as widget. That was a wrong move. Right click, pin to task manager. Oh. Okay, start. Start and do your duty. Top position, top. Fonts. Make them way smaller. Icons, make them way smaller by default. Okay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's with these fonts? Noto Sans. Noto normal. Noto Sans. Okay, Noto Sans, but then regular. Okay. These are not small icons. I'm not sure what's happening here. Okay, make everything smaller. Useless space and useless space. Wasted. And huge fonts. Okay, where are we? So KROSS failed. Cross. Scripting engine. It wants Qt script. And we did not install this. Qt script. There's just one thing, a deb package. There's just Qt systems, Let's put this thing, maybe it's useful. And locations and connectivity. I don't know what this does. Okay. So we resume from the last one, which is cross. Okay. 15 cores. Okay, so that's the way we build modules using kdesrc-build. Something fails, we look at the log file, we find out that a package config file is missing, we find out which the package contains that package config.pc file, install that package, or we find out that a .cmake file is missing, we find the deb package that contains that .cmake file, install that deb package. Why we don't do this automatically? Because of bugs. So when kdesrc is configured for the first time, it tries to install a ton of deb packages for my distribution, but it did not install enough packages such that I can build KD frameworks. This is the bug. So after installing kdesrc-build and configuring it for the first time, then kdesrc-build space frameworks should work. So the entire module set kd frameworks 5 should compile correctly. But then there's many other KD Git repositories which will require additional extra package config files and cmake files. So then there's a trade-off. How many deb files should kdesrc-build install by default? Everything for all of the 400 KD Git repositories, just for the 70 Git repositories which are the KDE frameworks? Where do we strike the balance? How far do we go? So I say KDE frameworks 5, all of the Git repositories for KDE frameworks at a minimum. Okay, so this is a nice contribution that you can make to the KDE community by improving kdesrc-build such that on a Kubuntu 2204 distribution, it installs automatically all of the deb packages in order for KDE frameworks version 5 to build correctly using kdesrc-build. Okay, K-Wayland. At the end, so it says that required packages have not been found. Wayland protocols. Okay, it's Wayland protocols something. So this thing seems to be it. Okay, required packages for Wayland protocols. And then it aborts. Okay. Okay, Wayland. CMake is successful for Wayland. Now it builds. So for each of the Git repositories, kdesrc-build does three things: the equivalent of /configure, which is the CMake step, and then it generates GNU makefiles. So the last steps are the same as they are for generally for building GNU style software from the command line. So make and then make install. Step 2 is make, which compiles. Step 2 is make install, which copies the files to ~kd/usr. And the first step is not /configure, but cmake. Why? Because cmake is superior in speed when you compare it to /configure. It's way faster, cmake, and cmake has additional features. Like it can generate Ninja configuration build files, make files. It can generate Visual Studio solutions and projects, etc. Okay, file metadata. The following optional packages have not been found. Following required have not been found. ECM was not found. Have been found, okay. Optional found, required found, optional not found. So let's go with popular exiv. Two P's. Poplar dev, this thing. Maybe this thing. Let's go with this thing. Okay, exiv. Exiv. This thing. What else? FFmpeg. Is there such a thing? There's many. libav dev. Okay, so apt install libav everything minus dev. Whoa, what's happening here? libavahi. Oh man. Too many. Too many of them. Apt. Where? No. Apt install. libav codec. libav device. libav filter. libav format. libavutl. libpostproc, this thing. And this thing, oh man. Port audio. Where's EPUB? EPUB dev, this guy. So those were optional packages. When you do what I do, which is build using kdesrc-build, those optional packages will never break the build. So in fact, you will never see that you did not install hundreds of optional packages. So in fact, all of the KD Git repositories will be built with the minimum of optional packages possible, like with none of them. But then some optional, what's optional for K-file metadata, such as Poplar, is required for Ocular, which is the PDF viewer, and Poplar is its engine. So in time, after you build all 400 KD Git repositories, then the next time when you build them from scratch, more optional packages will be already installed on the system, so you will build K-file metadata with more optional packages, so a more complete K-file metadata. Maybe it would be nice to have a flag where we say kdesrc-build, build K-file metadata, but with all optional packages required. So where we force that all optional packages are required. That would be a nice flag. Maybe it exists. I don't know. Okay, and then these were optional packages. Now let's install the required packages. So that's xattr, which is libattr. Extended attribute shared library. libattr1 dev. At least we have this nice thing in Debian that all debs for libraries are lib something minus dev. At least that. Okay. So now we need to resume from K-file metadata. Metadata. Okay, now Plasma framework fails to build. Let's see why. So it says CMake warning, no clang format executable. For Git pre-commit. Plasma framework. It really fails the build because clang format is not available. Who knows? Apt install paste. Okay, so clang format is a meta package probably. Core bindings plugin. Declarative imports. What is that? Core bindings plugin. OpenGL GLX. Declarative imports. I don't know. In our case, we are not using libgl vmd. glvmd. What is that? So it uses libgl vmd minus core dev and libopengl minus dev. Okay, let's see. Okay, so now it fails to build kcalendar core. Which says libical. I don't know, this search is really wacky. libical dev this thing. Do you want to continue? Yes. What else? Just iCal, and that's it. The calendar core from calendar core. Okay, and now KHTML failed to build. And that's because of so there's recommended and required packages, not just required and optional. Required not found packages JPEG, GIF. JPEG. Leave JPEG, leave JPEG. I'm going with this. The simplest name for the package. And that installs libjpeg turbo 8dev and libjpeg 8dev. Okay. And for GIFs, libgifdev. Okay. And that's it. HTML. Okay, now modem manager Qt does not build, which is why? Could not find modem manager. Which one? This or that? Modem manager. This thing. So that requires modem manager dev. Should be okay. Okay, we resume from here. Modem manager -Qt. So only 4 Git repositories remain. And then we have successfully built all of the KDE frameworks version 5.